afternoon, or evening, Speed Gaming 2, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're having a great Friday, and we've got a great match here for you on week 6 of ALTTPR League. We have Dr. Mardio of the Spoilers against Flip Heel of Don't Forget to Track Us. Definite playoff implications here. I'm Drosy. I'm here with the redoubtable Willard J. Bradley. How are you, sir?
What does that mean? What's redoubtable?
Renowned?
No, but what's I've never heard that word before. Redoubtable?
I think it means just renowned.
To doubt a second time? Is that how you redoubt?
Formidable is what Google's giving.
You can't doubt him multiple times. He's just that. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm excited for this match. There is, they're still duking it out for their second, third, and fourth team to make it into playoffs, and I'm sitting here in the same conference in the other division, waiting to see how this rolls out because we have playoff seeding potential playing a part here. So I'm excited to watch this. This should be good.
Yeah, it's definitely been the most competitive division in the Invitational League, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, 5 teams competing for 4 playoff spots and 3 teams trying to avoid 1 relegation spot.
Yep. So it's very exciting. It's gonna come down to the wire. It's gonna come down to next week for sure.
And we are off. Oh, Flip Heel is doing uncle routing while Dr. Marty just wanted that Link's House chest. Interesting.
And there is our crystals, all crystals in the Light World with a Pyramid Fairy crystal over at Eastern Palace. Which means that we're going to have 3 pendants in the Dark World. Which means we might have some interesting dungeon layouts or possibilities coming up. Nice bomb pull there from the Tier 1 tree pull over on Flip Hill's side.
Definitely a good way to put your mind at ease in terms of bomb availability. Hopefully Dr. Marty's planning the same thing. Looks like it.
And getting that full magic is nice too. Man, it's been a hot minute since I've personally just played open mode. So when I had my race yesterday, I was like, do I do the uncle route? Is that a thing that people still do?
Apparently. I've even seen some races this week where both racers started with the uncle route.
Oh, now this is... Well, hold on. Before I say anything. Okay, yeah, alright. Flip Heel gonna go ahead and take those extra bombs. And go ahead and do a bomb escape.
Interesting. I don't expect him to do Dark Cross.
I don't necessarily agree with this, just because it is really, really slow. But, I mean, if you find something in the front of escape, that could pay off.
Well, speaking of uncle routing, we had a race yesterday where both runners got their go mode mirror on uncle.
That's awesome.
So
that's actually fantastic. Yeah. That's one way to do that room. Interesting.
Yeah, not how I usually see the bomb set up, but it worked.
Mm-hmm. All right, and we're heading into Kakariko with a bottle already, so that's one extra check we'll get to do here. And we need to get some items for this inventory. Ooh, I'll tell you.
Those prize packs that start with the full magic are nice.
Mm-hmm. Now we just need to get some magic weapons.
I have a feeling we're gonna see a productive CAC today.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, all right. Off to a good start. Oh, even better. Can we? Oh, a third bottle or second bottle. If that's a gold beat, you could sell that and then buy the bottle vendor item just like that.
I didn't notice which kind of bee it was, but we have bottle vendor money.
Yeah, I don't think you can't notice it from the actual sprite itself when he holds it above his head.
I mean, I like to think of it as a barter economy, that the bottle vendor will barter a gold bee for whatever he's giving away.
Can we get more things to sell to the bottle vendor? That'd be nice. I want to throw a bush at him and be like, here you go. Some fine clippings. What do you got for me? Like nothing of super value here in the front of Escape.
Interesting. Well, there's our Aga Care package sitting in CAC.
Just need to find a Moon Pearl, and then there you go.
Could be on Pyramid at this rate.
Ooh, that's a good find.
Yeah, so we could be pointing to East Death Mountain, which is now in Logic.
And this is interesting. The fabled CAC skip. You don't see it very often. But you never know. You get those kind of seeds where you get Darkhold Axis from Kakariko and South Shore, and then you just like, I'm just gonna not go to East Palace area at all.
Oh, Green Pendant Swamp. We've been seeing that a fair amount lately.
Of course, the classic. All right, well, this is not going to be a very fun dungeon for Flip Heel though, with just a bow and nothing else.
No, but if Dr. Marty goes to check Saha's hut, I bet you he's full of clearing Eastern.
I bet you. So yeah, no lamps are going to be in the dark. So hopefully for Flip Heel, might pick up like a second sword. You never know. In these Aga type seeds, we always tend to see at least 2 swords to get through Aga.
Is that mirror in library?
That looked like a mirror. That's well, here's the thing. When you see Green Pendant Swamp, it's like, those boots could be in GT. Ooh. Oh. I would have got that 300. Especially with Zora and Logic.
Right. Gets you close to Zora money at least.
First chest of Eastern, Flip Heel picking up some ammo for his bow. Now we just need a second bow to be in here, and we're good to go.
But yeah, it's interesting. The seed's given us Eastern and East Death Mountain and Aga 1, so it's really open to start.
And we haven't seen Lumberjack, correct?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of runners don't check it until they have boots. They're just hoping it never hits Logic.
I mean, we could potentially check it before heading up to Marty. Yeah, I thought I could. It's only been 6 minutes, but it's really easy to forget what happens in that 6 minutes.
We both managed to miss it, but apparently it wasn't anything important, or chat would be going crazy.
That's probably why we forgot about it, because it was nothing.
Oh, right, because Marty did that tree pull, so it would make sense. But
that's what I was thinking of. Right, let's see what we got in Mini Molder. Okay, we got $5. We got a Quake Medallion, which might be required. We got a Flute to get us up to Death Mountain even faster. And we got that $300 that Dr. Marty skipped.
And inexplicably, Flip Heel skipped the big chest despite getting the big key in the previous chest. And I would think, on the off chance that it's something like the lamp or the sword, you'd want to open it before going into the dark room.
Might have just been a oopsie. Let's hope Flip Heel goes back and grabs that. I do like this as well. If you get the flute in Mini Boulder Cave, just leave, go activate it, and then you can flute and check Ice Rock Cave if you want, as opposed to taking in a couple, the screen transitions and then walking.
Yeah, makes fake flippering a bit more appealing too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's most likely to take it to Death Mountain just for density.
Yeah, the only thing that would stop me from going up to Death Mountain would be hoping to find a hammer so that I can do Hera while I'm up there. But
okay, so for all that, it was just the map and the big chest. So Armos Knights does have an item, and unbeknownst to Flip Heel, that item is in Logic.
Finds the Igor in the dark, gets the small key, now just has to make it up to the top left corner without getting bopped by the second Igor. And we don't have audio, but I'm assuming... Okay, we got it. We're good.
And despite having the lamp, Dr. Marty manages to fall into a pit.
I mean, Shadow, his sprite character is, kind of hard to see. We're in dark close. Easy to miss that. I need to play more FF6. They got some good randomizers, by the way, if you've never seen them.
Yeah, I know you've gotten into some of them.
There's the open mode one, and then there's the just nutty chaos, wacky nonsense one that is far more fun for me to watch than to play because I'm bad at it. All right, well, let's see what Flip Peel finds here. Yeah, because this is a situation where I could see Dr. Marty just never head over to the East Palace area if he finds Darkhold Axis over here.
Or it could be Hammer on Armos Knights. Nope.
Just a heart piece. So kudos to Flip Peel making it through that with just the bow. Fortunately, not getting any sort of payoff out of that other than a crystal and knowing that you're not going to find a bow later in this. Well, I mean, he was still looking for silvers later, but it's a nice item to have.
Yeah, and depending where the other 5/6 crystal is, this could be ultimately logical progression towards Pyramid Fairy.
All right, so now at 9 minutes and 36 seconds, Flip Peel will be finally making his way over to Kakariko.
Dr. Marty leading the bottle percent race 3-0.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the map in Escape either. There's our Moon Pearl. Okay, so now Dark World is looking pretty good via Aga. Not that anyone wants to do that. So we do have Dark Cross and Back of Escape still having at least, I guess it'd be 2 items if we didn't see the map or Big Key yet.
I'm surprised Dr. Marty didn't just quickly do Back of Escape before climbing Death Mountain. Well, oh no, because he activated the flute. But even so, they didn't do it before activating flute.
Okay. It's there. It's easy to get back to. I mean, the only thing that would stink for him would be is if it had the hammer and, you know, Hera has something important in it. Some early progression, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We can, with that bow as well, I mean, there's a very good chance that we're going to find some shenanigans over in the pod area at this point. Because we can do Aga Tower, and then we can either do that, or we could also go up and hookshot across the broken bridge, so... man, I don't know about you, but I feel like this kind of scenario has been showing up a lot for this open mode week. Maybe I'm just biased because this scenario happened for me yesterday in my race.
Well, the interesting question also, since you have the flute and can get around the map relatively easily, how exhaustive do you want to be before you just do Aga?
When you're 1 item away from Dark World access without having to do Aga, it's like the worst thing to do would be to beat Aga and then find the flippers, and then Hammer's just like in Waterfall or at Hobo or something like that.
Oh, certainly.
So, I don't know. I try and avoid those situations, but then, you know, then I drop a game or two because I full clear the overworld, so... It's a tough call. It's a really tough call.
So we did not see the small key in front, right?
I don't... No, we did not.
But he's not taking it to Dark Cross. Interesting.
I think that's a good call, because you don't want to do Dark Cross just for the map, if it's there, if we haven't seen the map yet.
I think we saw the map in front, but Dr. Marty doesn't know that.
Right.
And Flipheel's probably just thinking, now you give me all this stuff after I did Eastern with a bow and nothing else.
Is this faster to go drop down here than to just walk up and go to the right? I guess there's less stuff in the way, so it probably works out about the same. Well, I could very well see Dr. Marty just finish the front of Hyrule Castle and then go ahead and just do Aga at this point.
Well, if he's gonna go to the trouble of doing the front, I sure hope he does Dark Cross too. I mean, at that point, he'll have the map and know that Dark Cross has to be an item.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like, since he's here, he might as like I would assume he's going to do Aga Tower instead of like leaving to go to East Palace area or something.
Right. Well, as far
For
as
these
I
kind
know,
of okay.
I was going to say, as far as I know, the only things in Logic that we haven't seen yet are Dark Cross, Zora, and Agena.
Mm-hmm. Or Ice Rock Cave. I don't think we've seen that.
Oh,
yet either.
right. Neither of them did go there.
I don't know. For me, when it comes to these seeds that have potential Aga requirement, like I'll try and put off Hyrule as long as I can, like front of Hyrule as long as I can, so I can route it in with an Aga clear. So that's why I'm kind of predicting that Dr. Mario's just going to go ahead and go for it after clearing the front here. Yeah, there's that map. So we'll probably get a Death Warp and a Dark Cross check. Just feels bad having to Death Warp twice.
Though, hey, at least we're still on green mail.
Yeah, so I believe we're going to get another heart container here. So this might be bad if Dr. Marth is going to go for the Death Warp. I don't think it was Sank Heart, though.
But he did keep that guard there, so... just setting 2 bombs, okay.
Yeah, we are going to get simultaneous Dark Cross. A wee bit of a high five going on here, though. Flip Hill will get there first, but this is gonna be interesting. Because I mean, right now we could beat Aga and just find like Glover Hammer on the pyramid. But then yeah, you have to make that decision of okay, do I go to Pod? And I feel like if you're Flip Hill, you're more likely to go to Pod. Would you be more likely to go to Pod with bow or without a bow?
Probably... Well, I'm thinking probably with bow, but you might go without a bow because
never mind.
You get your Dark World access here.
Well, there we go. I'll just stop right there. I mean, with bow, you can logically check more stuff, but then you're like, man, if I just had a hammer, then I can beat this dungeon. Without a bow, you're missing 2 items to beat the dungeon. So, I think it also depends on if it's pendant or not. And we do have 2 other pendants in the Dark World. Okay, the whole bottom row. Pendants in Mire and Ice Palace with their other Pyramid Fairy Crystal gonna be at Palace of Darkness,
So it's like double bow for the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah. Some magic powder here in Hype Cave.
I'm assuming Dr. Marty is going... Oh no, he doesn't have the bow yet, so... I was going to say, if he had the bow and the hammer, Pod is a pretty obvious next play, but... Meanwhile, Flip Heel... Go ahead. Oh, Flip Heel doesn't have the Moon Pearl, so... he will be getting this up here. Bit slow going without the flute.
Yeah, the question is, I mean, if you're Flip Heel, do you go ahead and go straight to the Dark World after this, or do you go finish Mini Molten Cave, which is... Isn't that where our flute was? Yeah, that's where our flute was, so... The Mini Molten Cave skip? Gasp.
Isn't that like Gamachu's patented technique?
Who's that?
Some guy I've never heard of.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Flip Heel having that hammer will be able to do Tower of Hera. So we'll get some new information from that as well. Boy, this seed just got interesting all of a sudden. And thankfully for our runners, neither of them had to do Aga Tower.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Flip Heel is going to be 2 crystals up on Dr. Marty, but Dr. Marty's made more checks.
So with a pendant Mire and a pendant Ice, I mean, There's not that much we're going to get to skip in this seat. I think at most we get to skip a medallion and that potentially that mirror. It really depends on where the boots end up being. Because if the boots just end up chilling in GT, then that's no swamp and a bunch of mirror checks we don't ever have to worry about, which would be very nice.
Where's Doc? Oh, he's following the powder to Magic Bat. You don't think about early Magic Bat plays too often.
It's a nice one to get out of the way, too. So what do you think is going to be our next big progression? I mean, obviously, Mitt's got to show up at some point, right?
Yeah, what else are we still looking for? The 2 rods, basically, and Samaria? Oh, and at least 1 medallion.
Yeah.
But Samaria, Ice Rod, and Medallion don't help until you have Mitts, so... Given that, I'm going to be perverse and say Fire Rod's our next progression.
The interesting thing is going to be if we do end up finding the flippers. So we haven't seen any of our flipper checks because our runners have avoided those for the time being, which they're out of logic aside from Zora. But we'll have to wait and see if like Pen and Ice Palace ends up having progression or not, or any of that nonsense.
Yeah, I think the runners at this point are hoping flippers don't show up.
Just put the footwear in GT, and then that takes out a lot of checks. You have to play slowly, but at least you don't have to think about stuff.
And it's like a single one of each, so really, once you get to GT, you can wear a boot on one foot and a flipper on the other.
I bet that would look hilarious. I'm gonna get a Haripot here from Flipeel. Seen as the game wants you to do the basement to get upstairs.
No, he has the big key.
Oh, he has the big key. He got the big key and the small key.
And there were the mitts just sitting there in the brewery for Dr. Marty. Go figure.
All right, now just give us flippers and the fire rod, and then have fun with that. All right, Flipeel gets the Haripot. Gonna have to hit the switch without... I mean, either you hit the switch and just drop down here in front of the big chest and walk through, or you drop down the hole and just set up a bomb jump.
Simultaneous map grabs.
There's our first item. Another heart container, which, we're still on green mail, so hearts are always welcome here.
So now we're 50-50 on whether the second item is on Moldorm or in the basement.
Woo! Wow. That was quite a bounce there, Flipeel. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen the room done that way before. And there's our ice rod in the front of Thieves Town, along with the cane of Burna. Blue things.
That is a breath of fresh air, seeing that ice rod that early.
And that cane of Burna does put Spike Cave in logic.
So Compass off of Moldorm means I believe we're going to have a second item in the basement.
Actually, I take that back. Cape in a Bottle already put Spike Cave in logic. Don't listen to me, listen to him.
And we're going back in. So with those mitts, now we can get to the mire area. We have Quake and Hookshot. So we could potentially, preposterously, go into Misery Mire, but no one's going to do that. We do have Dark Death Mountain that we can do as well. So a lot of possibilities coming up here.
Yeah, maybe you do Dark Death Mountain just to see if you have TR access.
Yeah, to see if you have the right medallion for it.
Flipheel's setting up a Death Warp here, so I wonder if he's planning to do Spike Cave.
This Thieves Town is stacked. Holy cow.
Yeah, so there were those flippers we didn't want to see.
Because now that opens up, and we can't do anything in ice yet until we get a fire source, but now that opens up flipper checks. And unfortunately, just a blue rupee here in the Hera basement. That never feels good.
But this does look like a spike cave play. Or maybe it's just a spiral cave play. Actually, he's not exactly situated to do both.
Spiral cave skip. It's gonna work out. There was nothing there. So I think Flip Hill should have a blue potion, right? Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Oh, he's got 3 bottles. He's trying to get situated here. So yeah, as long as you stop behind one of these torches, you can drink a potion without having to worry about it.
Except he didn't think to do that.
Okay.
I was like, that's kind of risky to go down to 1 heart because then you have to make sure you're behind a torch, and yeah, it didn't work out.
All right, well, that's gonna be a mystery for the time being as Dr. Marty finishes out Eve's Town. Yeah, flippers, ice rod. That opens up some stuff for us. Not so much the ice rod, but the flippers. The question here, though, is like, are we gonna dip into Skull at this point? Are we gonna go check Bumper Ledge? Are we gonna go to Catfish with those flippers? Where are we going next, Doctor? I guess we could also even do Mirrorless Smith. That's the worst.
I mean, you grab the Smith and take him on a world tour is what you do.
It's true. And as expected, as predicted, Flip Hill is going to miss out on that flute for the time being, going straight into the Dark World and not hitting up Mini Moldering Cave. So, fortunately, that flute might not be required.
There's our Master Sword and C-shaped house, so we're not going to wind up in sword mode. That's a relief. I don't know if Tam or Relkin are watching, but I'm sure they're relieved these runners aren't going to wind up in sword mode.
I'm sure they never want to be reminded of that race ever again.
I'm surprised Flip Heel is going this way because Hyde Cave is relatively close to Pod. It's a full clearable crystal dungeon. So, yes, we got a world tour for the Smith here. Where are we fluting to? Returning him immediately.
I guess he could have taken him to Meyer area just to see the sights and see Meyer Shed before taking him here. Yeah, this is looking like a pod play from Flip Heel, so it's gonna be new information. So yeah, right now, like, aside from, the flippers that are going to be kind of on the way in Thieves Town for Flip Heel, the big thing here is that flute that's in Mini Moldering Cave that Flip Heel missed, and the bow that's in Saha's hut that Dr. Marty missed, so...
Yeah, and Flip Heel basically needs there to be something big in Pod because Dr. Marty's avoiding it.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the thing is, there is still another bow out there in the wild. We are still using progressive bows for this one, and there could be one coming up here on Dark Death Mountain. And then you go over and you have the funny moment where you're like, there's the other bow. Sweet. Perfect time.
And Dr. Marty is gonna open up Turtle Rock Portal. He doesn't have the mirror, so you have to do this first. Or he's doing Hera first because he doesn't have the mirror. So that'll even up the crystal count, too.
Yeah. Let's see what we got going on in pod. Now, since we knew that Hera Basement was nothing, Dr. Marty could save some time skipping out on Hera Basement. It's a tough call to make for sure. Especially, well, especially when you know where the mirror is and you're not going to get it anytime soon. Having to make this walk back up to Hera later feels bad.
Right, and probably in the back of your mind there's also like, what if the boots are in the basement?
Right. But I think it's different now because honestly, neither of these runners want to get that mirror ever. They just don't want it to ever fall into their lap. So
That is not a Herapot setup I can recall seeing.
yeah, there's like 30 different ones that people do. And
if it works, it works.
Yeah, if it works, basically.
So we're playing follow the keys in pod here. could potentially be 2 non-small key items on the bow-locked side.
Or, everyone's favorite 5 keys in the front.
Or even 6, which I've seen once.
Yeah, that's true. Oh gosh, that was really close to getting middle hold there. No problems. Takes down Mulder real quick. Let's see if he decides to go back in or if he's heading elsewhere. Do you just kill Helma now and then go back in?
That is a popular play with the big key, but no, Flip is going to the back first.
So then you don't have to worry about doing all this nonsense.
Right, and you don't have a mirror, so you're going to have to death warp, so I'm a little bit surprised he's doing it this way, since you, of course, get the free warp out if you kill Helma.
And we are seeing the Hera Basement. Though Dr. Murray's going to need to take a few tiles to the noggin. He wants to death warp out of here quicker.
Oh yeah, here he goes. Haven't really found anything in pod yet.
Is that our? I think that was our first. Is that our first? No, maybe we got another dungeon item on the right side as well.
Ooh.
I don't know about that.
Desert Crystal, we haven't really talked about the implications of whether or not Desert is boots locked.
Well, that and, without that book, the only means of getting into Desert would have been to get that mirror. But now we have access to Desert, and it might be completable without the boots, so I didn't think about that. So yeah, if boots end up being in GT, then obviously you would be able to beat Desert, but that book actually has a lot of value.
Yeah, and of course tablets, which Flipheel can't yet pull because he doesn't have the Master Sword, which we found in C-shaped house. And what do you know? The game gives us one medallion, and it's the medallion we need. Was Quake also in Mini Moldorm?
Yes. I want to say yes.
That would certainly make the most sense for where it would have been that Flipheel doesn't have it. So we know now that Mini Moldorm Cave is hard required to visit. I'm sure Dr. Marty just loves seeing that shield. Oh, and he is not doing Spike Cave.
I feel like it's a bit of a walk at that point. I feel like it'd be faster just to save and quit Flute up there and then do Spike Cave that way, but
Well,
what do I know?
We will be getting our first look at Mire area, but potentially all we can do is Mire Shed. I missed Mire, but chat's saying it's Quake, so we could go in. Oh!
Uh-oh. Things just got very interesting.
Well, we can go fast now.
The item discrepancy between these two players is kind of nuts, if you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, Marty can just get around the map so much easier than Flipio.
Mm-hmm.
And Fire Rod and Samaria can really be anywhere at this point.
Yeah, those are our last two items we're looking for. That mirror, that boots to mirror, also means that that book might not be as important as I was thinking it would be. You know, the game was going to be like, "Hey, don't worry, I got you. Here's your boots. Now make some decisions, bud."
Right, so we know Dr. Marty can full clear desert now. He's probably going to do that.
Oh, and we're going to see our Pyramid Fairy check over on Flip Hill's side with those two red crystals.
I mean, this could be kind of big if it is the Fire Rod or Samaria, because Dr. Marty has a lot of places he can go now, and he doesn't have a bow. Then again, the mirror does make the Pod Eastern combo more appealing.
Yeah, and this with that mirror in hand, there's like no way that Dr. Marty's going to miss out on that bow before going into Pod or Eastern. I mean, yeah, because if you're going to go there without one, you're going to go into the Dark World, and you're going to walk up and potentially mirror, check Zaha's side, and then keep going. But fortunately, nothing in Pyramid Fairy. We did get a mushroom here out of the desert, so that is another fetch quest check we can go do. Yeah, Flip Hill really needs to probably head over to Village of Outcast area where we had a lot of stuff. But still hasn't been to Mini Moldorm Cave either.
Yeah, I'd definitely rather be in Dr. Marty's position than Flip Heel's position right now.
Absolutely. I mean, for Flip Hill, he's kind of running out of checks to do, but I mean, we saw the Kakariko skip in quotations from Flip Hill, so it only makes sense to see the Village of Outcast skip as well. Just kind of going for some kind of, you know, uncommon routing choices.
Well, but without the flute, it's a hike to that portal, too.
Mm-hmm. Alright, is Catfish gonna bail out Flip Heel? It's still too early, but maybe.
Find out in a few minutes. But yes, the fetch quests are coming up fast and furious between Mushroom Desert and Shovel Catfish.
Well, this is going to be Mini Moldern Cave for Flip Heel, so going to get that flute. And then who knows, we might even see Ice Trog Cave finally. Maybe. Ooh, very nice. Spin a hammer to finish off. Lambo is there for Dr. Marty. Another crystal in hand.
And we do have one item on Right Side Desert. I have to imagine Dr. Marty will go back for it.
There's the required Quake. There's the potentially required flute.
Dr. Marty is out. Interesting. Oh, he apparently went right side and it was 20 rupees, chat saying. To answer a question in chat, Mitzwern Brewery.
Do you go to Ice Palace now for Fire Rod?
Yeah, well, rule of fire, right? We've found Bombos, so... Certainly his teammate Zelga is saying, oh, no, Fire Rod
Catfish!
Yeah.
Okay, that is huge for now. That is a huge find for Flip Heel, getting the shovel off of Catfish, leading to our required Fire Rod, which we're going to need not only to beat Skull Woods, but also to beat Turtle Rock. So,
and I think we're going to see Skull Woods shortly because Flip's going to activate the flute and then just go up to the portal and do Skull Woods, full clearable.
And that Catfish is a pretty easy spot to put off. Now, if Marty was to head towards the East Pod area and stumble upon that bow, beat both those dungeons, I could see him do the Pyramid Fairy Pyramid. Maybe hook shot over and do Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb if he hasn't already done it, and then go over to Catfish. But for now, that is a pretty rough spot.
And Dr. Marty's fetch quest of the mushroom turned up a whole lot of nothing. Oh, is he gonna dip Skull Woods now?
It's either this or Graveyard Ledge. I don't know if he actually did go over and check Bumper Ledge at this point.
Looks like it's Skull Woods. Yeah, I don't think he did check Bumper Ledge, so... Yeah, Bumper Ledge, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb, and then if you're going that way, maybe you continue all the way to Catfish.
So at this point, we're just looking for Samaria, right?
Yeah. And each runner's still looking for what the other has.
Yeah. So depending on where that Samaria is, this could be interesting.
And hey, for all the different routing we've had, we're going to get temporary convergence here in Skull Woods.
Now, Marty still has the advantage of having all these items, having gotten that flute early. There's a nice tempered sword in the front. And we're getting a pedestal check? Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, Flip Heel is missing several things that he's about to find here in Village of Outcasts.
Including the mirror, so he can't, combine this with anything.
Mm-hmm. Red Boomerang. Almost the item we're looking, but obviously Samari couldn't be on the pedestal. So. What was I saying? I don't remember. I don't care anymore.
Right, as far as Flip Heel knows, the Ice Rod could be on Ped, but we know that's comfortably in Thieves Town.
Yeah, and also, just in general, Dr. Marty's going to be saving more and more time having these boots that Flip Heel's going to continue to miss out on for a bit. But there's a save and quit in Skull Woods. Drosy, where do you think he's going next?
5? Yep. So this will work out well for him.
Assuming he remembers to mirror and check Saho's side. I mean, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't.
I mean, it's right on the way.
Maybe if you, I think it's because I was in a seat that I was playing. I accidentally did it, but that's because I already had the bow, so I was just like, I have dungeons I can beat. I think that's a different scenario.
Also, the thing about Flip Heel having the Fire Rod is he's doing the back first, most likely, and not going to get his sword upgrade until after he has to do Fighter Sword Moth.
You mean Hammer Moth?
Yeah, or maybe even, conserve your magic and get a few Fire Rod shots in.
So, this is going to work out. If Dr. Marty does, decide to do Pyramid Fairy after clearing both these dungeons and allow it to lead him up to the Catfish, it's a tough play because it's a long sequence, and it's even tougher when you have access to all 3 pendant dungeons right now. Ugh.
And chances are Samaria is going to be in one of those pendant dungeons at this point. Did we see both items in Skullwoods or just the Tempered Sword?
I'm not sure. There's either going to be an item or dungeon item on Moth coming up here. Chat, don't tell me. I just want to watch. No spoilers.
Our tracker has redacted it. By the way, shoutouts to Ikir, our tracker.
Alright, let's see this Hammer Moth. Remember, still on green mail, so any hit from Moth is going to deal 2 damage, and then the spikes will deal a full heart. So far, Moth has been pretty good. Yeah, if you can get Moth into the bottom corners, that's a good spot. There's our Sanctuary Heart.
As we get a full refill anyway.
And then, hopefully, we'll finally see the Village of Outcast from Flip Heel after this.
So, he'll be on Tempered Sword, and once again wishing he had gotten it sooner, just like with the lamp and the first sword.
Yeah, because there was a... was it Chess Game or Bombable Hut that had a sword as well? C-shape. Okay.
C-shape, yes.
It was one of those 3.
Yeah, chat pointing out that Dr. Marty is also not rushing Helma, though in his case it makes a bit more sense because he has the mirror. There's his book. I don't know. Fire Rod could be on a tablet.
Yeah, I
mean, Samaria.
If you're Marty, you're feeling less good about finding a book at this point. I feel like when Flip Heel found the book, it's like, oh, okay, I can't really do that much with it, but neat, thanks. But Marty, it's like, oh god, I go back up and check the tablets.
So we'll get a prediction in chat for that Cane of Samaria. Likely in a pendant dungeon, but there are a lot of things not in pendant dungeons we haven't checked. We never did see Spike Cave after Flip Heel's death there. We have the tablets, Cave 45, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb.
Bonk Rocks, I don't think we saw either.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But yeah, this is kind of a awful scenario to be in, honestly. Looking for one more item, and you have access to 3 pendant dungeons. It's just is. It'd be kind of a shame if it came down to just like a coin flip on one of those pendant dungeons between these two runners.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of races do seem to come down that way when you're one item from go mode and only have pendant dungeons left.
Yeah. All right, Flip Hill getting his tempered sword, about to get his mitts. We didn't actually get anything up on Dark Death Mountain, right? I don't think there was anything up there.
Not that I recall.
Yeah, the big decision on Marty's side going to be is, okay, how much more overworld do I want to do before I commit to one of these pendant dungeons? And there is still a possibility that this seed requires 0 pendant dungeons. So it's just as a runner and a viewer, it's a tough decision to make.
Yeah, I mean, we do have quite a few overworld checks available to Dr. Marty that we haven't seen yet from Flipheel's side. And he still needs to go to Catfish and get that fire rod in any case. Or follow the shovel to the fire rod.
Yeah, we still have all the Zora area too. We have not seen Hobo, Waterfall, Zora Ledge.
So that might be an incentive for him to go to Catfish now that he has the mirror.
Yeah, a little bit more of an a reason to go there. Flipil had a reason to go there because he had like nothing. Well, he had Mini Molten Cave and Ice Rock Cave and Zora and all of Village of. Okay, he still had quite a few things he could have done instead of going to Catfish. But...
Oh yeah, we haven't seen Ice Rod Cave, have we?
Nope.
So that's yet another overworld place where Samaria could just be sitting this whole time.
So it's going to be interesting to see what decisions both these runners make. I mean, Dr. Marty does have still a pretty good... Well, let's see.
I mean, they're both working on their 5th crystal here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It really depends on where that Samaria is, too. It's got to be an independent dungeon. But, like, with the whole Icebreaker thing, like, these runners are not going to want to go to Ice Palace. Swamp feels really slow, though. But Mire can also just be, like, front-loaded with with dungeon items. And you don't want to be, like, doing cutscene chests, so... These are also not very good pendant dungeons to look for items.
No, I mean, especially Samaria-less Ice Palace. Which means you're gonna have to bomb jump and take the long way around. And Mire is just really low return, only 2 items for that whole big dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say you go into Swamp if you're gonna dive a pendant dungeon, 7 items potentially.
Yeah. Probably check K45 and Bombos and then go into Swamp.
And we never did turn in the purple chest either.
Mm-mm. Already having a little bit of trouble with with that spot. Oops.
Hey, while these runners are going over each other's footsteps, good time to remind you to follow them, except that the follow thing isn't working, so let's get that fixed. But yes, to recap for the missing items, Dr. Marty is looking for Fire Rod. That's in Dig Spot with Shovel on Catfish. Flip Heel will have his quality of life improved by the boots and mirror. The boots are in Mire Shed, and the mirror is on Library, Boots Lock.
Was Desert Boots locked? I mean, I totally just
Logically,
stopped
Boots
hearing.
Lock. The small key was on the torch, but the big key was in Map Chest.
Ah, okay.
And simultaneous crystal grabs.
All right, some big decision time. Is Flip Heel gonna go ahead and grab the Smith is set up for that turn in? Is Dr. Marty gonna head straight to Pyramid Fairy with his 2 red crystals? We're gonna just say no to both of those things and go to Pennant Dungeons.
Well, this means Dr. Marty's not going to Catfish anytime soon.
Well, unless this is Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, true.
Alright, this is going to be the boots for Flip Heel. Getting a quick spot, see what's on Desert Ledge first. Which makes sense because he doesn't have the mirror. He does have the book, so he'd be able to get that item with the book alone.
So, surprisingly, he will likely beat Dr. Marty to the 6th crystal, but without Cane of Samaria, it's very much anyone's game.
Mm-hmm. Oops. Hey, okay.
Yeah, so this is our first look at Hobo.
I've been seeing this routing quite a few times lately of taking the bomb to Hobo, which is scary because you have to drop it to, like, talk to him.
I mean, you're threatening him with this giant bomb that would probably blow the entire bridge to smithereens.
I wonder, if this was Key Sanity and you got a text box, would you still have enough time to get the bomb back?
Does the timer continue to go while the text box is open?
I don't know. That's a good question. Loving these little hook dashes setups so you can run with the bomb. So the big thing here is, will Dr. Marty continue up this route all the way to Catfish to get that shovel? Otherwise, Marty's going to be in a pretty rough spot here. We are going to head into Desert Palace for Flip Heel for that 6th crystal.
So
this is looking good.
But he could hook shot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which isn't a bad call. Like, you go over, you check those 2, and then you go back and do Catfish. Okay,
he's going
straight
to Catfish.
All right. This is gonna even things up real quick, and then we're gonna be on that hunt for that Cane of Samaria. We got a race. I'm excited.
Yeah, with Dr. Marty having done a few more checks, so then the question is whether Flip Heel will just be doing checks that we know from Dr. Marty are nothing, or will both runners be exploring new ground?
Oh, and that's the thing with Shovel. I mean, you're not super convinced to just go check it right now, so gonna see some new checks here on Marty's side. Gold sword. I was wondering if we were gonna have another Cane and Samaria in Waterfall, which I think happened in a race earlier today. Right color, wrong item.
And yeah, just to confirm to chat, we have not done our mirror checks yet. Graveyard Ledge, Cave 45, Bombos Tablet. Those are some expensive bombs.
I wonder, do you just immediately go check Shovel, or do you go to the Dark World and set up Cave 45 as well? Spike Cave?
I think that's the only thing he has left up here, and Ether Tablet.
Where the heck is this Samaria? Is it gonna be in the overworld and we never have to go inside of a pendant dungeon ever? Or are we gonna have to make that coin flip? That 3-sided coin flip.
Well, if you're rooting for Flip Hill, you sure don't want to find it in Spike Cave. If you're rooting for Dr. Marty at this point, you probably do want to find it in Spike Cave so we can just have go mode.
Right now, spoilers, already punched a ticket into the playoffs and just trying to get a better seed going into the playoffs. Don't forget to track us fighting for one of the other 3 playoff spots. Really needs to get a win today.
Yeah, they're currently in 5th, so they need to get themselves into 4th.
Absolutely need to get a win today.
So, nothing doing on Death Mountain. Where's Dr. Marty going now? Is this Ice Palace?
Okay, just checking Highland Island.
He never checked the island, I see.
Ice Rock Cave finally? At an hour in? Could you
Ice Rock Cave check.
I mean, it's really easy to do when you get Flute out of a mini Molten Cave.
Hey, and now we can finally tell you to follow the runners.
Just a heart container. Look pretty healthy at 12 hearts, though. Surprised we haven't seen either of the armor upgrades. Alright, will Dr. Marty go check that shovel to get the fire rod and then make that tough decision? I could see this being the purple chest down to Bombo's tablet play.
Yeah,
and or this is Greater Lich.
Skullwood. No, he didn't get the fire rod. Shoot. Flip's doing the mushroom turn in for a big 20.
Okay, we're going north. Honestly, this is the worst place to be in as a runner in this seed. When you have a few overworld spots left, and then 3 pendant dungeons that you do not want to do.
And as a viewer, you just hope that both runners find Samaria close to each other so that we still have a race afterwards.
Yeah.
This is our first look at Bonk Rocks.
3 bombs. And Flippy'll going to be heading up here to do all of the Dark Death Mountain stuff, and might even route in that Spike Cave, so... Yeah, I mean, Dr. Mari does not have that much overworld left compared to Flipheal. Though, I mean, I guess after this, with your Flipheal, I mean, yeah, you still have the boot stuff. You have the stuff that Dr. Mari's doing right now. There's our first mail upgrade.
You were saying we weren't finding them. To confirm to chat, yes, Hookshot Cave has been fully cleared. King's Tomb, another new check.
Is this arcane? Nope. Keep looking. The quest continues.
So what do we have for overworld checks at this point left? I mean, Cave 45, Purple Chest, and Bombo's Tablet?
Yes. I believe that's it. That's it. That's all we got.
Wow, so we're on the verge of full clearing the overworld here.
Which I think in this scenario is... I feel like if like 1,000 people ran the seed, I feel like the majority of them would do the same.
Did you like Flip Heel expressing himself when he picked up the mirror shield?
Yes.
He took the time to leave a bomb in the chest for the next adventurer.
Oh, that was nice of him. A trap chest? Gotta watch out for those. Alright, another new check, 845. Is this our Samaria? Survey says no.
Vanilla K45 seems to happen a lot. Oh yeah, and Flip Heel never did do Spiral Cave.
Yeah, Flip Heel went for Spike Cave after Hera instead, and unfortunately perished lifting the rocks, so.
And Dr. Marty is finally going to dig up his fire rod. So we are now officially Samaria from Go mode on both sides.
Yeah, and the question for Marty, like, does he bail on, this would be the perfect time to go into Swamp Palace. But he's one item away from Go mode. Does he go ahead and go get the other item out of Skull Woods?
And Purple Chest is a bust, so
one last overworld spot left, aside from Green Pennant Turn-In, I guess. If that counts as overworld.
I mean, it counts as overworld based on Ganon hints.
I wonder if he meant to use his potion there. That's not it! Alright, you know what that means.
Gotta start diving pendant dungeons, but Dr. Marty is gonna do Skull Woods first.
Okay, that would make sense why he drank his potion. So things are gonna even up. But at this point, Dr. Marty has a little bit of an advantage just having cleared more of the overworld at this point. So if Flip Heel wants to stay in, it's still going to come down to a seemingly coin flip who picks which pendant dungeon first, but
that means Flip Heel needs to start diving pendant dungeons rather than checking the overworld, and checking the overworld is just so much more appealing.
Yeah, because Flip Heel has these boot spots, Graveyard Ledge, still has all the Zora area to do, and then that same route down to Bumper Ledge.
So. Well, the fact that he's doing his boots checks this way makes me think he's just gonna skip Graveyard Ledge. He probably feels behind after everything that's happened. Yeah. And realizes he needs to do some skips.
Especially knowing that they could have had the boots a lot sooner.
Still haven't found half magic. That's probably in GT at this point.
Alright, which pendant dungeon is it gonna be? We got 3 items in Ice, we got 2 in Mire, we have this, 6 in Swamp, plus the green pendant Turn-In.
Yep, so Swamp has more than the other 2 combined.
Yeah,
There's also
I feel,
pain.
Oh, I feel like Swamp is probably gonna be the more likely candidate of a choice for both these runners. But I mean, you could start metagaming, oh man, I feel behind, and I bet so-and-so went to Swamp, so I'm gonna go do Ice Palace or something.
But first, Flip Heel's getting his Butter Sword. Oh, and Dr. Marty's gonna do a ped check. No, not checking ped.
Well, it can't be ped, because
of true, right, Mire. Oh, but he's going for Mire. Interesting. This could be a whole lot of...
I mean, the nice thing about this is that he knows that he doesn't have to beat the boss, so that's good.
Right, but the flip side, I was going to say, is it could be a whole lot of clearing for just one item if Viddy has the other item.
Yeah. This is the downside. But I wonder, compared to the other two, is this the quickest to actually clear and get both items potentially, or get?
Depends if you have to go to cutscene. If you can pull out 2 items without going to cutscene chest, then yes, it probably is the quickest.
Compared to like Caneless, Ice Palace,
and Swamp, where you're basically taking forever until you get even your second check. Well, the same is true with Caneless Ice.
Well, fortunately for Mighty, he has enough time to pick the wrong dungeon. Since Flip Hill is still checking Overworld, which we know will not lead to Arcana Samaria, so. And then, you go to the wrong dungeon, but it ends up having like silvers or something. You're like, oh, okay, well, thanks.
But Flip Hill running around here, he could be going to Swamp now.
Could be Swamp, or K45, or Purple Chest. But yeah, I could see Swamp coming up. All right.
This is Swamp.
This is still anyone's race. Now, if Swamp is wrong, there's a good chance that... Oh, he never... Wait, he has not done the dam at all. Wow.
Because he found the flute in Mini Moldorf Cave, so why go over to dam?
That's nutty. I mean, hey, that's the most efficient time to check the dam is when you're going into Swamp Palace, so, kudos to that. That's funny. Okay, where's that Cane of Samaria? Who's going to make the right choice? I don't think we've seen anything here in Mire. Maybe a map?
Yeah, but we do have the big key, so it's worth going right side because we can do 2 checks here.
Okay, first item in Swamp is going to be a map. Okay. Oh, that means there's going to be an item on left side Swamp. Heck yeah. Okay, it's not 100% vanilla cane, but it could still be French vanilla cane. What do we got? It's a heart container. The hunt continues.
Now you've invested the time. You're doing cutscene.
Mm-hmm. And it's either... I think at this point it's either going to be a compass or the other item. Yeah. Hey. This is interesting. I mean, if Flip Hill finds Samara in here, then all of a sudden the lead has... I mean, I guess overall... I guess no one's really in the lead until we find Kane. I mean, if it's not in Swamp, then Flip Hill might end up going and doing all the other overworld stuff before committing to Ice. It's possible.
Yeah, and Dr. Marty, once he does this check, I'm gonna guess he's going to Swamp.
We're going left side first. Not in Mire, just some hearts. All right. Where are we going next, Marty?
At least Flip Hill knows Bomb Diver down. Wow, this looks like a Swamp play.
Yep. All right, well.
So this could be very close if Dr. Marty decides to skip left side and the Cane's in the back.
And if they're both wrong and it's an Ice Palace, then things are going to get interesting. All right, left side Swamp. What do you got? A heart piece. Come on, just be the big key. Just be nice. A boomerang. Okay.
Not even the right color. I mean, of course,
hunt continues.
Red boomerang we know is on Ped.
Mm-hmm. Well, if it is in the back of Swamp, then, and Mario decides to do back first instead of left side, this could even things up. Though it would still be Flip Hill's advantage, especially with that blue boomerang. That's huge.
If Dr. Marty goes straight for the back and it's in the back, it's gonna come down to execution and GT basement routing.
That's a third item, I believe. So that's half the items in Swamp. And we're heading to the back.
Also, without the big key, going to the back is a little bit more appealing, because then you're like, well, if the big key's in the back, I only need to come back in once and I can do the back and the left side together.
Mm-hmm. There's the big key. There's the compass. Skipping out on Argus. Gonna go ahead and check the big chest. Then I would assume would probably go back in.
He managed to avoid the glitch there. It's
Yep.
harder to take him back downstairs, but he got out of it.
Big chest. 10 arrows. Oof. Okay.
So, waterfall chest, Argus, and the green pendant turn in.
Well, here's the thing. If Marty does decide to go straight to the back, then he'll be leaving 3 items in Swamp after Argus, so... Alright, what do we got? The bug net!
Well, that's always a fun one.
One more item left on Argus. Man, I'm so glad I'm not on either of these players' teams, because I'd be stressed out of my mind. Though I guess at the same time, like, if you're spoilers, you know, you're in a pretty comfy spot. So if you're our tracker today, you're probably freaking out. Shout out to our tracker, by the way.
Well, spoilers probably want to get a good seed so they don't have to, you know, play like WJPDTB in an early round.
Who's that?
Another team I'm not too familiar with.
Is this Arcana Samaria? Yes,
it is. We have a race, folks.
We have a race. Wow. So it's just going to come down to GT routing now, right?
And execution. I mean, even with Buttersword, it's not like Turtle Rock is totally trivial.
Man. Kane in Pendant Swamp. Where have I seen that one before?
Oh yeah, chat reminding us that, yes, Dr. Marty realizes that you can save and quit out, so he made up some time right there.
Is that... Can you do that with crystals, or is that just a pendant thing?
Just if you don't want the pendant. If you do that with a... and the boss is dropping a crystal, you have to come back for the crystal.
Obviously, you want to get the crystal. My point is, like, will the game let you save and quit if there's a crystal there or not?
Yes, as far as I know. And then, you know, if you come back, the crystal will just be sitting there for you to grab.
Right. Well, the concept isn't so much that you need the crystal, but you need the item. Because obviously, if you want the crystal, you're going to get the crystal, I'm just saying.
Right, no, but I don't think there's anything preventing you from saving and quitting with a crystal in front of you.
Okay. Because I know in the light world, if there is a pendant dropping in the light world, it'll let you mirror out in the boss room, but not if it's a pendant dungeon in the dark room. Or something like that. I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on. Anyway, we're in T-Rock now.
Yeah, Dr. Marty's, 10, 15 seconds behind Flip Heel?
It's so exciting, I gotta get up for a second.
And they're both choosing to do Fireside first. It's really 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. You're doing both. I think these days the meta's a little bit more popular of this routing than of doing Compass Chest first. Chat's saying it is actually faster to go this way. What does it save, like 2 seconds?
I'm back. This race deserved a fresh cup of coffee, so.
We have a nice big key up front, so there is some chance that we can get enough small keys to start skipping things.
Yeah, and I feel like most players in this situation would probably go ahead and do the big chest skip and just pray for another key on, steal the key, obviously skip lava chest, but then you skip the big chest and hope for another key. I had a crystal roller and laser bridge. Okay, Marty having a little bit better chomps room. Gonna save a little bit of time there. I don't think anybody could ever be watching this race and think to themselves, man, I'm bored. I'm gonna leave. This is a good race. This is exactly what you want to see, especially in a mode like this. Or any mode.
And they took such different routings to get here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be very interested. Sorry, what were you saying?
It's nuts how different their route was. And, Flip Heel saved a huge amount of time just committing to the Pendant Dungeons as opposed to full clearing the overworld. But, like, the fact that we're this close, despite the fact that, Marty full cleared the overworld while Flip Heel skipped a ton of stuff, but also was super... much later to the boots, much later to the flute, much later to mitts.
Yeah, I mean, what I was going to say is I'll be interested to see how far apart their collection rates are, because Marty is undoubtedly going to have a higher collection rate. I'm wondering by how much. 15, 20?
The moment this is the execution battle, we still do have Ganon's Tower, where players do tend to have their own ways that they enjoy routing it. You got your people that like to do Hope Room first. If there's a small key, then go right, and then go full left. You got your Rando Room rushers, those crazy people that just go full left to Rando Room and then mirror out. You got the dummies that like to do Stalfos Room first, and then do right side, and then do left side. And then you got your few that just like to, just clip right up to Aga and figure it out from there.
We've got people who like to do Stalfos Room and then Tile Room.
Yep. Oh, there's our other mail upgrade. Nice.
No one's ever
container.
won. No one's ever won bronze in a major tournament doing that, though.
No, I don't even think there was a restreamer. I think it all got deleted. So nice upgrade. So there's not going to be, the difference between blue and red mail is probably not as big of a difference as getting, green mail versus blue mail. Like having blue mail is just really nice.
And we also got to see the rarity of using the mirror shield for what it was intended. And Flip Heel doesn't quite get the backdoor strats to work. Though
not going to get the zero cycle.
Yeah, let's see if Dr. Marty does. That would make him up a few seconds.
Maybe.
Yes.
Nope. It's a little too slow there. Yeah. Still a tiny bit faster, but Flip Heel is still going to hold on to that lead. Going into Ganon's Tower.
Which means we get to play our favorite game, and you can spend channel points on it.
Yeah, this also means that we're going to be following Flip Heel's chest count and not Dr. Marty's, so... Oh man, this is nuts. I love this. This is exactly what you want to see as a commentator, is a race that comes down to the wire.
Yeah, and even if they do take the same routing, in the basement, execution could make a difference still.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's going to be pretty easy getting through a lot of the gauntlet, a lot of this dungeon, because we do have the gold sword, the most powerful sword. No half magic, and does Flip Heel still have that blue potion from earlier? Because I know Marty spent it before going into Skull Woods.
I don't remember their potion situation. Well, there's the fourth bottle, but it's empty.
Information from our tracker that Flip-Heel did pick up a potion.
And we're being forced left after Hope Room.
Okay, so it looks like we're both on the same path, so this is going to be an execution battle. There's our half magic, all right. Hey,
in
you called that
GT,
one.
just like I said, yeah.
Well, it helps that we saw all of Mire and all of Swamp and basically all of T-Rock as well. And all of the overworld. So it's either going to be in GT, Mimic Cave, or like the two chests we left in T-Rock, or Ice Palace.
Or Green Pendant.
Or Green Pendant.
Chat wondering about silvers, though. Oh, and Flip-Heel is going right. This will get him a comfortable lead if it's in Compass Room. It'll put him behind if it's not.
Oh man, now I'm sad. I wanted them to do the same thing.
But we are still going off of Flip-Heel's count.
Good bonk strats with the cane. Love it. You love to see it. All right, is it over here? That's a compass. $300. 10 arrows. 10 arrows. It's not over here. We're not grabbing the small key. We're heading left. Marty is back in the lead. Just like that.
And the thing is, like, it's a serious gamble because what do we have on the left side? 10 checks here. Map chest, Fire Snake, Rando Room, Bob's chest, and behind Ice Armos. So yeah, you're basically accelerating 4 checks at the cost of really putting off 10 more.
Mm. Now, if you're Flip-Heel or a Flip-Heel fan or a Don't Forget to Track Us fan, you'd probably be hoping for Tile Room at this point. But, you know, Dr. Marty's arrow count is pretty low. He's going to pick up a 5 here. Underneath this pot, but needs to make sure to pick up another 5 to be able to deal with these ice almost a little bit quicker. Or
at least we get silvers.
Never mind. I'm upset. All right, well, nice. Okay. So, easy game. All right, is it here? Yes.
Vanilla.
All right. So Dr. Marty going to retain that lead. Silver's in hand, heading up the gauntlet.
And he mirrored at 126.39, so let's see how far behind that Flip-Heel is.
Imagine just like having a cool spiel to talk about, and then just the game says, shut up, sit down. Don't even, it doesn't matter anymore. Both owners are going to have a pretty easy time going up the gauntlet with not only Gold Sword, but Gold Sword, Silver Arrows, half magic if they want to use Fire Rod on like the Stalfos.
So that's about 54 seconds apart, whereas Flip-Heel was 10 seconds ahead coming in. So that cost him more than 1 minute going over to Compass Room.
But, I mean, at the same time, if Compass Room had it, then he'd be, you know, like 2 minutes ahead.
Right, but this is one of... Right, I mean, and also it depends on how well you know your opponent. Like, does Flip-Heel know Dr. Marty's routing well enough to know that Dr. Marty would likely do full left after not getting a small key in Hope Room?
Now, there is still a possibility that Flip-Heel could... well, more likely that Dr. Marty's gonna bleed some of that lead. Not going to see that on Lamels too, getting the 1 cycle, which is real nice. And probably not going to see that unless we see like a Moldarn Fall or a bad Aga 2. But yeah, this is pretty much in Dr. Marty's favor to take this.
And of course, a Ganon fall would completely reverse the lead.
Oh yeah, Chet bringing up a good point. Dr. Marty is down to 3 arrows. There is a 5-pot in the pre-Moldarn 2 room. It's in the pot in the top right corner.
Is he watching his arrow count?
Feel like... Yes. I don't know why... Well, now I'm not so sure. Because he didn't need to get that small key. Maybe he was hoping for an arrow drop from the other mini Helma. Let's see. Okay. Oh. Okay.
He just forgot which pot it was, I guess.
He heard
rumors. It was in
that
there somewhere.
There was an arrow pot up there somewhere, but I don't know if that was 54 seconds worth, though.
No, and I think Flip Heels actually bled a bit more time.
Right. Easy Moldarn fight. Now we got to see what kind of Aga 2 patterns we get coming up here. Not a very good starting one. Oh, almost gets a triple anyway.
Yeah, that was nice. I think that counted as a double.
Yeah, I think so.
Far enough apart.
2 more? Oh, only gets 1. Oh, Flip Hill, gotta be careful. Flip Hill having a wee bit of problems with this Moldarn fight.
Yeah, not doing himself any favors there. Which means that if he had done the same basement routing and then had that messy Moldarn fight, this race would basically be a tie right now.
What a wild ride it took to get here, too. You know, I guess it's got to feel good to full clear the overworld and it not cost you the race. Only getting a single there on the Flip Heel side, it looked like. Yeah, real easy 1-1 with Gold Sword here. That might also have been a single, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is that. That's one of the things with the Aga fight, having to like, I think to better utilize or better get through the fight more efficiently, you need to start utilizing both spins and slashes depending on the scenario. I always just like rely on spins, and then I get hit by a blue ball, and then I get a 0 cycle, or I get 0 hits on a cycle. So it's like minimal to no, like very few warps here. There's 1 silver. Oh boy! Bit of a whiff. Could have got a double there, but only went for 1.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't try the double. Maybe because he's not that low. But anyway, get your GGs in.
What a nutty race! Endless search for Kana Samaria. A lead change for Go Mode. And then a lead change again, thanks to everyone's favorite Ganon's Tower routing. GG's to Dr. Marty. Punch another win for his team, the Spoilers. And might have just spoiled the chances for Don't Forget to Track Us to make playoffs. I think it still depends on maybe another match this week. And next week, but we'll see. I haven't crunched the numbers yet. Drosky, have you crunched the numbers?
Not fully. I mean, they're 5-7, so the best they can do is 7-7, which can get playoffs depending. Oh no, Flip Heel, the floor's about to break there. Okay, he's out of the way. Nice double.
Double.
Definitely a faster phase 4 there. So get your GGs in for Flip Heel. This was quite the race. And the official time difference is 1 minute, 1 second. Hopefully we can get them in here to talk about their decisions. We are joined by our two runners, Dr. Marty and Flip Heel. GG's, guys. That was quite a race.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's Flippo.
I mean, you're going to have to watch it back because the two of you did completely different things almost the entire race, then converged on Swamp and had your go mode within 15 seconds of each other.
Well, we like to keep it interesting, I guess.
So I guess Flip Heel, the first question is, your avoidance of Kakariko and Mini Moldorm Cave.
Well, so I got bombs in the front, so I'm always gonna do front of escape with bombs. I like that play. And then, I had a couple extra bombs, so we went to Saha's closet, and then I got the bow, and it's like, okay, well, I guess we're doing Easter now, and then after Kakariko was really, do you go up the mountain or South Shore? And I don't know, I just, oh no, I did the back of the escape after that. So when I got the hammer, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're going up the mountain. Yeah, the late food hurt.
Oh yeah, the hammer was the one other place where you guys really converged. You had your hammer pickups almost in unison. So it was just kind of funny that you both wound up there. Yeah, Dr. Marty, you decided to do front of escape after a number of things before checking, say, Saha's hut, which might have led you into Eastern.
Yeah, it was I say it was interesting. It was kind of hilarious when I just went to Saha. I was deciding between going to Saha and just dipping the crystal dungeons, or going to Zora area. And yeah, I just laughed my ass off when I saw the bow in there.
Yeah.
The bow was always just in that area. It's just so weird. But then the second one ending up in Bob's chest, which was kind of equally funny, to be honest.
Right. Well, chat was worried about, and Willard too, were worried about your arrow situation, and then, he's got silvers, okay.
Oh yes, and I'll have to refute what Shady said there. I wasn't bailed out. I was fully planning to use Burna strats against Ice Armos, because I had a blue potion still, so I would have been fine for arrows.
Oh, okay, we couldn't remember who had potions left at that point. Speaking of potions, that was unfortunate, Flip Heel and Spike Cave your first time.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like, I knew it was like a tight window. I think the plan was to have 2 hearts when I activated the cape, but somehow I only had 1, and I was like, uh-oh, this is bad.
Yeah, that was what surprised me, that you took it down to 1 heart before activating the cape.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and then it felt so awkward to route after that.
You had a potion, right, at the time?
Yeah, I did. I was setting it up to use it, and I don't know, for some reason I just went 1 heart too low. I don't know why.
Oh, okay. I think you had enough time. You could have stepped behind one of the torches, like the first row torches before the rock, and then drank the potion.
Wait, how does that work?
I was also really thrown off too, because getting the pearl, I was like, oh wait, I can't do both Spike and whatever now. So I was just mental lapse.
Oh, we have an interesting observation in chat that just in terms of the division, and I do want to get to talking about your positions in the division, that Brewers fan JP has noticed that this actually backs Tile Roomies into a playoff clinch here. But yeah, I mean, how are you guys feeling about things in the division? One team clinched playoffs, the other team really trying to make a push to get in now.
Honestly, I'm not feeling great. I don't know. I just, a couple races just keep on coming down to like a 1 or 2 minute, loss, which the other way puts us in a better spot. We're not out of it, but it's definitely rough.
Yeah, I think from our end, I think we're pretty happy overall about how we've gotten so far. I was disappointed last week where I lost the match, but then again it was to Airy, so I don't think anyone's going to hold that against me anytime soon. But yeah, it's a matter of having a good team, but also just luck. Very easily could have been 30-15 the other way at the end of this match.
Yeah, especially when you're picking random pendant dungeons. I guess that leads into another thing, Dr. Marty, that you did Mire before Swamp. After full clearing the overworld, Flip Heel, you just dove Swamp, which obviously paid out well before you were done clearing other things. Can you both talk about what led you into pendant dungeons the way you each did?
Well, for me, I had the mitts late, so I knew I wasn't doing Smith Chain. I was kind of done if it was Smith. Well, maybe not done, because where it was, but tried to do pretty much all the easy overworld checks, and then just kind of pointed to the swamp, flippers and mirror.
Yeah, that's true. The boots were sure in a heck of a location, but yeah, once you got them, Dr. Marty, you kind of stayed out of Swamp as much as you could.
Well, I tried to stay out of all the pendants as much as I could. I think I cleared basically all the overworld except for the pedestal where I knew the cane couldn't be, and then the Mimic Cave. I think everything else basically cleared. And then I went to Mire first because I just reasoned, okay, if I go into Swamp, I'm going to have the full clear Swamp if it's not there, regardless. So that includes left side Swamp and the trek down to open it up. I wagered that it'll be faster getting the 2 checks in Mire and yeah, then going into Swamp. But yeah, very easily could have gone the other way. If Flip had skipped left side Swamp, then yeah, it's his match.
But as it was, he did left side Swamp, you skipped it, and he was actually still ahead. At that point, it was GT basement routing that changed the lead.
Yeah, I was kind of curious because you said we got it within 15 seconds. Yeah, it felt like, I guess, the worst route for where the item was, but I was almost thinking of doing DM strats, but didn't pull the trigger.
Dr. Marty did the conventional Hope Room and then full left.
Oh, okay.
And I was thinking when I got the 3 small keys in Dark Magician's room, I had Zelga's voice in my head saying, "There's 3 keys in here, so you should go right side now. Go on."
But you didn't listen to your teammate, and that actually won the race for you.
Oh yeah, that was lucky now, but unless I went full right, which I'm prone to do, but yeah.
That would have been truly a big brain play if you had done that. Well, I guess if either of you had done that. And I'm surprised how close your collection rates are for all that, because it felt like Dr. Marty was full clearing the overworld, had cleared so much more, did everything in Mire except for Vitreous. And then you're only 2 chests apart at the end of the day. I mean, I know Flip Heel got 4 extra in GT, but still.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Because like I said, I mean, other than Mire, I skipped what he did: Graveyard Ledge, Smith Chain, and K45. So that's 5 or 6 checks plus the Mire.
Yeah, and I mean, there was left side Swamp, so that was an extra 3 checks, including the big chest, which Dr. Marty didn't go back for.
And I would have cleared less of GT as well, so that worked out nicely. But, yeah.
Also, I was really bummed about that hammer. My hand was on the reset button for 30 seconds.
Oh yeah. Yeah, terrible locations. Terrible locations.
Willard, do you have anything for our runners?
Yeah, I think you guys nailed it. GG's to both of you guys. That was a really, really fun race to watch, and one that I'm glad I didn't play, because I probably would have done what you did, Marty, and full clear literally the entire overworld before making a decision on a pendant dungeon. So, yeah, that was fun. So GG's.
Yeah, GG's again to both our runners. Please do give them a follow. We actually have, in a few hours, the next Invitational League race is also going to be part of this playoff hunt in Skullwood's division. We'll be seeing Vortex of Doom of Go versus Jay Meisher of Tile Roomies. Tile Roomies just clinched, as we mentioned, as a result of this match, and Go and Don't Forget to Track Us are really in a tight battle trying to get this last playoff spot. So that should be a really good race, again, with a lot of implications for this division, and that'll be on SpeedGaming 3 at 7:10 tonight. So one more shout out to our tracker Ike here, and of course to Willard J. Bradley. Would you prefer I call you Formidable than Redoubtable?
No.
Okay.
Something funnier. Something funnier. Come on, go. Funny, right now. Now. Big funny.
Discombobulated?
Perfect, nailed it.
Great.
What the
Well, I'll
hell?
let you have the last word then.
Dear Amazon Prime, please deliver Mario Party sooner. Thank you. Also, goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.